about
You
there.
have hopes for me, huh?
I care.
Are we on? Good afternoon, everyone. Please take your seats. Thank you so much for joining us today at the University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center. We also welcome those of us joining us via live stream. My name is Julie Hoff, and I serve as the Dean of the Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing at the University of Oklahoma. And today we're celebrating OU's new partnership with the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma and Murray State College. Today represents an exciting day for nursing in Oklahoma. We have a lineup of several speakers, each of whom will address how our three institutions are working together to address critical needs for nurses in Oklahoma. Here to discuss the importance of our partnership and how the University of Oklahoma is supporting the growth of our state's nursing workforce is the 15th president of OU, Joseph Harris. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Dean Hoff, and thanks to all of you for being here. This is an exciting day, and I love the crowd. This is a fantastic turnout. This is an important day for the University of Oklahoma. It is an important day for Murray State College and the University of Science and Arts in Oklahoma, and I'm absolutely honored to say a few words, but before we get to that, we have to go through the special guests. You each know you're special, but we have some people, some top officials that we need to recognize while we're here. And a number of individuals from the state legislature. I've seen most of them, and I know those that are not here when I call them will either be here or wish they could be here. Seems pretty sweeping. All right, let's begin with the Speaker of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, Charles McCall. Is Senator Adam Pugh here yet? All right, if not, he will be here. He's working hard. Representative Tammy Townley. That's right, absolutely. Senator Jerry Alvarez. Fantastic. And Representative Josh Cantrell. Also joining us is the relatively new Oklahoma Secretary of Commerce and Workforce Development, Chad Mariska. With us is the Chancellor of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, Allison Garrett. From the OU Board of Regents, and I have not seen any of them yet, I'm going to list their names since they are 3 of my 7 direct bosses. So clap regardless, I need this. Regent Rick Nagel. Is Regent Nagel here? All right, we're 0 for 1. Let's try this. Regent Holloway. Also not here. Let's try Governor Frank Keating. Okay, I think that went well. So none of our regents are here, just to be clear yet, but they will be here eventually. I don't know that for a fact. I'd like to recognize a number of individuals from the University of Science and Arts in Oklahoma and Murray State College here today from the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma Board of Regents, Chair, Insurance Agent, and Chickasha Mayor, Chris Mosley. Vice Chair Cale Walker. And Regent David Farrell. From the Murray State College Board of Regents, longtime friend, mentor, Chair Susie Brewster. Also very much want to welcome and recognize the 2 presidents from our partner institutions, both remarkable individuals. First, the Dean of Oklahoma University College Presidents, USA President Dr. John Fever. And Murray State President Dr. Tim Fulton. I'd like to recognize my colleague and friend, Senior Vice President and Provost of the OU Health Sciences Center, Dr. Gary Raskot. After all of these, I'm going to announce other people that are not here. It may take some time, but I think it'll be well worth it. So today is a really important day. We're all gathered here for a couple of reasons, right? I mean, the first reason, and something that's fundamental to us, at the OU Health Sciences Center is how can we make sure we're fulfilling the promise of state government, the promise of a comprehensive research university. This idea that when we look towards what we can do to help the citizens of our state, it really involves three things. Right? Can we help them with their health? Right? Can we provide for the citizenry in a way that also allows for education? And how do we provide economic opportunity? Those three things are fundamental. And they really converge when you think about the idea of developing the healthcare workforce for a state. It involves all of those things: economic opportunity, it involves education, and clearly patient care. We talk about the purpose of the University of Oklahoma, and it's to change lives. I don't think there's any way where you can see more of that impact about changing lives than providing for the health care of our state. As part of any healthcare system, the reality is the backbone, what really connects the patient to the care, the provider of the care in so many instances, is nursing. And over the last few years, we have seen that impact in a way that I think is real to every one of us. This isn't theoretical, right? It's not imaginary. But we know across the state through the pandemic has revealed a fault line that we have, which is there are not enough nurses in this state, there are not enough nurses in this nation to care for our people. And the impacts are fundamental and they're real. People are literally dying because there aren't enough nurses to take care of the patients. Speak to any hospital system, not just in Oklahoma, but across the country. They've turned away patient after patient. Right? They have failed in patient care because there aren't enough nurses. And we see the stories about what it costs to have nurses and the increasing cost to get them. It is a function of the reality that the supply has not been great enough, and the consequences are nothing short of a cataclysm. So as we look at it, we went into the pandemic ranked right at 46th to 47th in the country in terms of nurses per capita. Right? So in a national system with serious systemic problems, we were at 46th. So how do we solve this problem? And the answer is embodied in this room today. And it is that we have to work together as a state, not in individual silos, not individual institutions, but all of us collectively. And we saw this call from the state regents and from the chancellors. They talked about making it one of the critical workforce issues facing our state. And we saw it from the governor's office, talking about how important these specific jobs are, top of the heap when it comes to STEM, right? Opportunity for the state, opportunity for the individuals, and necessity for those of us that have family members and ourselves that need care. So it's an issue that's been identified, but many states aren't doing anything about it, or they're still operating in their same silos. To me, what's really exciting are two announcements. One we'll make in a minute, but the larger statement that I hope everyone gets here today is that the leadership of this state has come together in a way to say, let's solve this together. Not one individual grabbing a microphone, not an individual institution showboating, but this idea of we've got to tackle this problem because people are dying. And the future of our state depends on it. But more importantly, at the present state, we have to have it. So as we look at this, it's a remarkable moment and opportunity. We've talked about the state regents and what the regents are doing about this under the chancellor's leadership. But you look across the state, and one of the first bills that was moved in the 21 session was an appeal to get more money to fund more nurses, right? Bachelor's degrees for nurses, also masters and advanced practitioner nurses that are so important to both urban and rural Oklahoma. And the legislature led this. We had a press conference a little over a year ago where we talked about the need and how we were going to deliver on it. So as we stand here today, the legislature has delivered on it under the leadership of the Speaker and the Pro Tem, with the work of the Governor and the call we heard again just at the State of the State a few days ago. The idea was, how can we work together, and can we work together to make this happen? So over $11.5 million in new money was dedicated in the 21 session by the legislature. This past year, we didn't ask for any additional money, but we said we have to make sure we're addressing this shortage. We ramped up by almost 92% the number of students that we were taking, even though we didn't have capacity at OU, right, in the Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing. Dean Hoff and all the administrators here didn't have space. They said, we'll figure it out next. And they built the space out literally days and weeks ahead of the actual classes taking place. I was walking in here, the first conversation I had with the dean was, we're going to have even more this year, and we're figuring out ways to get the space. We did not ask for additional dollars. And the speaker and other leadership said, here's 2 million more. We know that you're working hard on this, and we know there's a terrific need. So the need is there and the will is there, and we are seeing dramatic changes. This year's class is the largest nursing class ever, this fall of 2022 at OU. 460 students, an increase of over 103 students over the previous year. The total number of nursing students we have in just the 2 years alone is cresting 900 students, both in the 2-year program and a 15-month program on an expedited basis to meet this crisis, and we're looking at additional ways to get this done. And I have to give incredible, well, it was mainly me that did this, if not exclusively. Right, the real leaders are here. The dean, the provost, every individual here who built the space out, made the programs happen, taught the classes. Right, we hired an incredible number of new faculty to help make this happen. And while there are strains that are being felt here, it's nothing like the strain you feel if you don't have a nurse to help take care of you and solve your problems. So today's announcement is remarkably exciting. It is the next evolutionary step. We know we have to deliver to rural Oklahoma and metropolitan Oklahoma. We now at OU have 5 different sites across the state where you can get your RN, where you can get your BSN degree. Right? We just added 2 last year because of these additional funds. As we look at it, we looked at Murray State and partnered with Murray State. We looked at USAO, and we said, let's start a track where we can guarantee that if a student comes into these institutions, at least 6 a year, if not more, that we can tell those individuals from the day you enter, you're guaranteed a spot in the BSN program at the University of Oklahoma upon completing your time at Murray State or USAO. And as long as you keep your credentials up and you perform, you're guaranteed a spot. And this education will take place in Duncan, at their hospital, and at Cameron, in Lawton, right? At those sites, because we know that where individuals receive their education, the odds are extremely great that they will then practice in that area. They'll provide that desperately needed nursing in that area. So this is a remarkable moment. Right? The challenge is great, and the impact is fundamental. And we know that having highly skilled nurses are the key to solving the tragedies that are occurring without it right now. And with Murray State, we also have a program for those that have earned their associate's degree. As part of this, they have a direct track to earning a BSN, and they can do it 100% online while continuing their career. So when you look at this, we are solving these problems together. Right? It is a monolithic problem that we can solve by working together, by having our state leaders aligned, the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the institutions of higher education in our state working together. This is that moment. This is that celebration, and we are doing this together. So please, a round of applause for all of our leaders who have made this possible. That was supposed to be 4 minutes. I'll be honest, it probably felt longer for you. There are a number of individuals who are going to speak. It is my absolute honor to introduce my friend and someone who at every turn shows what a true leader he is. He always listens, he's always available, and he produces real results for the state of Oklahoma. He understands this critical nursing shortage. He's worked hard to make it happen. Please welcome our speaker, Speaker McCall.
President Harris, thank you so much for the kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful day. Not just for Murray State, not just for the University of Oklahoma, which I both have close ties to, but really for the state of Oklahoma. You know, the legislature has identified a tremendous need in our state. We could use 38,000 new nurses today in this state. And some months back, we asked all of our state leaders in higher education, Chancellor, thank you for the Regents of Higher Education. We need to come up with a plan to address this problem. And it will be an issue where demand for nurses in the state are even higher than they are today. It's going to require us to have a multi-year plan to address these needs. But I'm so thankful for the leadership. President Harris, your willingness to help in this matter. For Murray State College, back in my House district, Dr. Fulton, appreciate you. Regent Susie Brewster, thank you for your service, your leadership in making this happen. But I can say on behalf of all of my other colleagues in the House of Representatives, we are very excited about this step. This is going to make a difference for the people of the state of Oklahoma, not just in rural Oklahoma, not just in Oklahoma City, but throughout the state. And we need more efforts like this to once again catch up with what the true demand is, because people, as President Harris says, people literally are dying because we do not have enough medical professionals in the state. I believe the state legislature will continue to support and put resources behind expanded efforts in this area. But I'm super excited and thankful for all of those who have come together to make this happen. This doesn't happen without leaders, and a broad base of leaders. Not one person in the state can make something like this happen. But thank you all. This is a historic moment for us in the state. In the legislature, we're very appreciative. Our young people who are considering a career in nursing, we are providing certainty that if you get a degree at Murray State College, you have a guaranteed pathway to an advanced nursing degree. Thank you all for having me today and allowing me to say a few words. Thank you for my colleagues from the House of Representatives and from the smaller chamber in the Senate. We're glad that you appreciate all of your support. Thank you, and may this be a great year for the state of Oklahoma.
I respect the direct attack. This should be fun, right? That's right. I believe Representative Dick Lowe is here. Thank you for being here. Let's recognize Representative Dick Lowe. All right, and you may have seen the senator just walk in. I'd like to thank Speaker McCall again for everything that you are doing and have done. You're a terrific leader. Senator Pugh is someone that is directly engaged in education, not just as chair of the Senate Education Committee, but he has a direct and absolute passion for it, and even goes on to get advanced degrees in his spare time, including at the University of Oklahoma. Thank you for being here. Please welcome Senator Adam Pugh.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and distinguished guests. Thank you for allowing me to be a little tardy, though I'm glad I was here in time to ensure that the speaker was not referring to my 5'9", 163-pound frame. When he said smaller, he meant the number of people, I'm sure, in the chamber, and not the stature of us. I actually just came from a committee hearing, Business and Commerce, and I just ran Senate Bill 621, which had to do with reimagining the way the state of Oklahoma does workforce. And I've always likened workforce in the state of Oklahoma to like the Spider-Man meme that you might see where there's two Spider-Men and they're wearing the exact same costume and they're pointing at each other. And they're saying, who owns workforce in the state of Oklahoma? And how do we align those things to produce the outcomes we need and to produce the skilled workers that we need to make sure our communities can thrive? I am incredibly excited and honored to be here on behalf of all these universities that have partnered to produce the workforce that Oklahoma needs. We know that coming out of the pandemic, we identified very quickly that we had a healthcare workforce shortage. We asked our education partners to help the state of Oklahoma produce the men and women who not only will come to the state of Oklahoma and utilize our institutions of higher ed, but who will stay here after they graduate, which is what is so exciting about this partnership. To be able to recruit young people directly from their community and lay out a vision in front of them to say, here's the pathway for you to insert yourself at any point into our education system and get skilled, maybe for the first time, or to come back into our system at a later time in your career and be upskilled or retrained as you progress and matriculate through your career. I want to thank all the universities here for answering that call and being responsive to what the legislature has asked of you. To not only start thinking about what does the workforce look like in 2023, because truthfully, folks, it's too late. If that's the question we're asking, we need to be thinking about what's the workforce look in 2030 and 2040, and how do we begin to prepare young people like my kids who are 11, 8, and 5, and are going to inherit the state that the speaker and I and my colleagues here are preparing for them. And I've always said that if you love beaches or mountains, Oklahoma may not be the place for you. But apart from that, I want the state of Oklahoma to be the first best option for all kids to stay in the state, to thrive, and to use their God-given talents to be everything that they've been called to be. And this partnership with our universities and being responsive to what the legislature has asked of them, and partnering with the business community as well, whether it be your hospitals and our medical systems, to meet our community needs, to ensure that moms and dads who are running small businesses or large hospital CEOs that come to the legislature and come to our education system and say, I need this. I need these people with this skill set for our education system to be able to pivot rather quickly, truthfully, Mr. President, from when we first started having these conversations and asking these questions, to be able to pivot and say, we're going to open up spots now. We're going to build partnerships now. We're going to present you with pathways and avenues right now to gain a skill as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible, and then step into the workforce and serve our people. I want to thank you all very much. I want to thank the speaker for being a great partner. We've run a number of bills together, and 25, 51, and 1. You can't get anything done in that building without those three numbers. And so this partnership is incredibly important. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be a part of this announcement. Thank you again to all those who have attended. Thank you to the educators who are here and professors who are pouring your heart into young people to train them and equip them and skill them so that they can go forth and do wonderful things and big things for the state of Oklahoma. Thank you for all your service to the state. God bless Oklahoma. Thank you.
I think I've been through 3 sessions now in this role, and I thought I understood how the legislature worked, and it's been humbling to watch the leadership in both chambers and how hard they've worked. And I think in every instance where there's been an absolute need, the answer hasn't been just yes, but yes faster and yes more. So could not be grateful. It's life-saving work, and we're grateful to you and all of those who, as you said, Senator Pugh, make it happen. My last introduction, so you can feel good about that. There are others coming, but this is my last introduction, is an individual who is relatively new to state government. And it's exciting to have this kind of energy and experience that is here, representing the executive branch and all that he does. As I've said, the governor's been a critical part of this and a huge proponent of this. Please welcome Oklahoma Secretary of Commerce and Workforce Development, Chad Mariska.
Thank you, President, and all here in attendance. I would like to set the record straight on the fact that thanks to the legislative branch, the executive branch is actually the largest branch of government. So we do have that going for us. So as long as the funding keeps coming, then yeah, maybe we need to be a little smaller. Yeah, you can change that. So that was not the point. Moving along, and I will stay in my 2 to 3 minutes for the record. So that's going for me. Hello, thank you for having me here today. It's a pleasure to be here. What an amazing story that's unfolding here on this campus. I'm Chad Mariska, Secretary of Commerce and Workforce Development, and I've been in the role a few months, and just seeing all the things that I've been able to see in that time period, there's truly an amazing amount of momentum that's occurring. So on behalf of the governor and I, we're just proud of this example of that momentum here today. At the Department of Commerce, we focus on three things. One is business development, working with companies to grow. Second is workforce development, working with the workforce of our state to grow. And the third piece is working with our communities so that they can grow. And together, they kind of form three legs of our economic development stool. And so today, we're going to spend a little bit of time on workforce. In today's environment, that's become a very high priority, and it's the reason we're gathered here today. We all know that pipeline of talent is absolutely essential to supporting our businesses and also providing opportunities for Oklahomans. But in today's economy, the need for skilled labor is being felt not only in our neck of the woods here, but across the nation has been mentioned before. It doesn't matter which community or industry, everybody is feeling these effects. In Oklahoma, nursing and healthcare areas of great workforce need. I applaud the work being done here to identify an issue, and as mentioned also earlier, collaborating together to find a solution. This new partnership we're celebrating today is an example of exactly what can be done to meet the workforce needs and open doors for increased opportunities for Oklahomans. Earlier this year, Governor Stitt issued an executive order in January to create a workforce transformation task force to identify roadblocks and challenges in our workforce system and to create an optimal delivery system. Senator Pugh is serving with me on that committee. As co-chair of this task force, I'll work along key stakeholders and leaders in the state, like Speaker McCall, his designee, and of course the senator as well, to find solutions that are going to make a difference for this state. We are committed to that. We are currently working to stand up the steering committee, and we'll be announcing that here in the next couple of days. And that group will work together to come up with recommendations by the middle of April on how we're going to change workforce delivery for the state of Oklahoma and for 4 million Oklahomans. Oklahoma needs to have a workforce delivery system that is quick to react to the critical jobs of today, and equally as important is being able to see and look around the corner and create the jobs that are going to be important to our state tomorrow. Both. We are making strides in minimizing workforce shortages, and I'm confident that we'll create a system and a model that other states will envy. This collaborative program we are here celebrating together today, and others like it, will be the key to our state's future success. So, in summary, thank you again for having me. Congratulations to the program leaders and innovators that are making this type of advancement to our state. Very proud of this, and watching this become a reality is very special, and thank you again for having me here today.
Well, thank you, President Harris, Speaker McCall, Senator Pugh, and Secretary Mariska. As the Dean of the OU College of Nursing, as the Dean of the OU Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing, I take great responsibility for building a strong nursing workforce. One that is well prepared and ready to join our colleagues in practice. This is not a one-person job. It takes all of us, as many of you had said. It is only through partnerships like the ones we're here celebrating today with Murray State and the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma that support what I call workforce innovation in nursing. Think about it. Workforce innovation in nursing. WIN. Who doesn't want to win? Oklahoma wins with workforce innovation in nursing. Oklahoma wins because USAO and Murray State are partnering with OU to create a pathway to nursing through a direct entry. Oklahoma wins because we will collaborate to ensure Murray State Associate Degree in Nursing graduates can complete a baccalaureate degree in nursing online at OU. Most importantly, Oklahoma wins because we are partnering to increase the number of nurses and advancing the education of nurses, not only for rural communities, but for the entire state. At OU, Oklahoma wins means we build academic programs that align with health sector needs. We established a nurse intern program that supports clinical education through paid internships. And since it began, over 400 nursing students have participated. And our practice partners who participate, They're reporting a narrowing of what we call the academic practice gap, the transition to practice, and it's also improved recruitment and retention post-licensure, meaning we're slowing down the churn of turnover in our hospital systems. We also added a couple of new nurse practitioner programs to meet specialty care needs in neonatology and mental health. And we've increased access to an OU nursing education by establishing programs at Norman Regional and Duncan Regional Hospital. At OU, OK Wins means we collaborate to build and strengthen the nursing workforce. Last year, OU committed to accept all qualified candidates to our baccalaureate nursing program. Tapping multiple resources, OU established a degree accelerator program in certain communities. This program provides tuition-free workforce investment program to practicing nurses that they can go on and complete a baccalaureate, a master's, a DNP, or a PhD degree. This program dismantled financial, social, and attitudinal barriers in order to enable practicing nurses to not only advance professionally, but to advance academically, thus positioning them to exercise their knowledge and power to transform care and improve health outcomes for Oklahoma. And at OU, OK Wins means we partner. We partner across sectors to drive synergistic change. We influence policy to modernize nursing regulation, and we collaborate to ensure sustained investment in nursing education. To ease the nursing shortage in Oklahoma, it's going to take all of us working together, innovating, integrating, and strengthening academic programming, workforce development, and policy. Together, Oklahoma wins with workforce innovation in nursing. So I'd like to thank you very much and invite Chancellor Garrett to the podium.
Well, thank you so much. It is truly exciting to be here today and to hear this great news. As we look across our state system of higher education, we see example after example of partnerships among our institutions. And President Fulton, President Fever, President Harris, we are so excited to see your institutions partnering to move the nursing workforce ahead in the state of Oklahoma. We've made a few gains in the last few years, and it's not been enough. And there is so much more that we as a state can and must do for our population. And it is truly exciting to hear the news coming out of your three institutions today. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much. I would now like to introduce President Fever to the podium.
Extraordinary time constraints on me today. President Harris used the term Dean of Students. There are synonyms for that, geezer, relic. I'll stick with Dean. As president of the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, I would begin by saying that we're enormously pleased to be part of today's nursing partnership announcement. Science and Arts has a long and distinguished record of producing students who excel in graduate and professional programs in the health sciences. Today's announcement is an extension of that proud history, while at the same time placing our institution at the forefront of an innovative new model of how higher education institutions might collaborate to more efficiently share programs, offer unprecedented learning opportunities for students, as well as to produce graduates ready to meet the workforce development and critical occupation needs of the state. We are exceptionally pleased for the opportunity to partner with the University of Oklahoma's duly celebrated Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing. This groundbreaking collaboration will allow the schools to produce increased numbers of high-demand nursing degree holders, do it more cost-effectively, and ensure these graduates possess the skills needed to become board-certified practitioners. Additionally, this will increase the number of nursing students ready to serve our state's smaller towns and vast rural areas, in our case, in the southern and southwestern part of the state, where they're so critically needed. Finally, we believe science and arts students possessed of strong writing abilities, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills, and with exceptional competencies across the sciences will thoroughly enhance this partnership. We also know that science and arts foundational, that arts and sciences foundational curriculum imbues our students with an understanding of the human condition, the disparities and the complexities of the human condition of life. This so important to a successful career in any medical field, to the community's well-being, and to public health, and the success of modern health organizations. We expect our students to positively thrive as they transition to OU nursing. Good to see all of you today. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this.
Thank you, President Fever. And now we'll hear from the 21st President of Murray State College, Dr. Tim Fulton.
I'd like to compliment Dean Hoff. I've been around John Fever for the last 30 years, and that is literally the shortest I've ever heard him speak. Congratulations. I mean, gosh, I don't even know what to do with myself now. President Harris, I want you to know that they handed me a long list of people to introduce that you missed. And so I'm gonna try to work those into my comments as we actually go. One of the greatest honors of my life is to be the president of Murray State College. I have a lot of my staff here today that made it happen. So I think about my nursing director and the assistant nursing director, Dan Priddy and Malika Horton, and it wouldn't be what it is without you. And so thank you so much. You can tell everybody else from Murray today because we're all wearing blue in a very big and pronounced way. Today, to coin a phrase from the past, is a red letter day. It's a red letter day for Murray State, for USAO, for the University of Oklahoma, and for rural healthcare in Oklahoma. Today, we announce a partnership that builds upon the strong foundation of our Murray State Nursing Program, which I just have to put this in there, ranked #1 in the nation by registerednurse.org, and by giving our graduates guaranteed access to higher levels of training, professional success, and Senator Pugh earning power as strong and productive members of the Oklahoma workforce. Our RNs will now, as of today, have the ability to pursue advanced nursing degrees with the University of Oklahoma from anywhere they live and work in the southern Oklahoma region. It says on the agenda that I'm supposed to talk about rural Oklahoma. I spent my entire career in rural Oklahoma, and I understand how programs like this can be transformative, because programs like this are the future and the only way we're going to improve health outcomes going forward. Our students and their families, to our campus leaders, our governmental leaders, to our state regents of higher education, to the executive branch, I want to stand up and say that we hear you. We understand that partnerships amongst public educational institutions are the future. We can't be everything to everybody, but together we can get everyone served. Having spent my entire career in rural Oklahoma and experiencing how these opportunities can positively change lives and generations, this opportunity will allow our students to gain additional levels of training and ultimately improve health outcomes as they move forward. In the fall of 22, two of my career tech partners, Dr. Eric Ward and Alicia Mason, we signed a similar partnership that guaranteed access for our paramedic and LPN graduates into our career mobility registered nursing program. In this program, qualified students have advanced standing, building upon their excellent foundation of educational and professional experience and shortening the time to graduation down to 8 months. This allows us to put more healthcare workers in the southern Oklahoma workforce quicker and at a greater and at less expense and at a greater rate. With the SOTC agreement, which my SOT partners are here with us today, and the agreement that we're announcing today as a preferred partner of the University of Oklahoma, we are taking the first step in the creation of the Southern Oklahoma Center for Nursing Education to be located in Ardmore at our Murray State Ardmore campus. My friends from the Ardmore Chamber are with us here today, so thank you, Bill and Andrea and Dan, for being with us here today. I was at a different presentation earlier today with the state regents, and Secretary Mariska was there, and he brought some data that nursing had moved up from number 3 to number 2 as the most critical need for our workforce in Oklahoma. It's vital to the health and success of not just our state, but our nation. With that in mind, Murray State increased its capacity to produce nursing graduates last year from 90 graduates to 150 graduates in just 1 year. As of today, our traditional students in Ardmore, Duncan, Durant, and Tishmingo, as well as online, will be able to pursue and achieve their dream of becoming a nurse. They'll be able to do so with the confidence that they will have access to the training that they need to go as far as they want to go. Simply put, what we are doing here today has the potential to improve the quality of life in all of rural Oklahoma. I can't think of a better mission, and I can't think of a better reason to gather. What I'd like to do now is introduce you to the reason we're doing this. Charlie Mays joins us here today. It is my honor to recognize her. She is a concurrent pre-nursing student at Murray State College. Charlie is one of the many reasons that I'm so excited about this partnership, because she represents a number of students in rural Oklahoma who otherwise would suffer from the lack of local access. I've heard what she's going to say to you today. We practice together because we're smarter than we look. And when we practice together, what you're going to notice about her is she is exactly the reason you do this. She's exactly the reason that I've spent 30 years in this profession. She is worth the investment. She is worth the effort. She is worth knocking down some of these barriers and silos with our heads. She's the reason we do what we do. She's the kind of lady that as soon as you meet her, you're going to recognize she's the reason we want to invest in things like this. Please help me welcome to the podium my friend, very nervous, Charlie Mays.
If I'm being completely honest, I've never talked in front of a group of people this big, but I'm very excited to be with you today. I'm a concurrent pre-nursing student at Murray State College. The doors that have opened for me over this past year have been so amazing, and I give all thanks to my hard work I've put into my education. And I have wonderful people in my life who have blessed me by pushing me to be myself and the best version of myself every day. I want to thank my dad, Alan Mays, for his unconditional love and support, and Miss Phillips for constantly encouraging me to not only pursue a job, but a passion. I want to help people, and the healthcare field is the best possible way to do that. From being accepted into the Murray's Accelerated College Experience Program, to touring the college's nursing facility, and meeting with Deanne Priddy, I quickly knew this would be the path I was going to want to take. After talking with Dr. Fulton about the exciting future in store for Murray nursing students, I knew I wanted to be a part of this historic moment and benefit from the partnerships that are forming between Murray State College and the University of Oklahoma today. For small town students like me, this is a dream come true. Access is what we need. The ability to be able to the ability to be able to pursue something we know we're meant to do without having to move 100 miles away from home. My ultimate goal is to become a CRNA. In order to achieve my goal, I plan to take all the needed course requirements as a concurrent student so that I can be accepted into Murray's nursing program directly from high school. Once I complete my associate's degree at Murray, I will continue on to earn my bachelor's degree in nursing at the University of Oklahoma. From here, I know I can go anywhere. I would like to thank Murray State College and the University of Oklahoma for coming together and taking this important step toward the betterment of healthcare for all of Southern Oklahoma. Thank you all very much for this opportunity to have me here today. This is a dream come true, especially for the little girl inside of me that really wanted to do this. Thank you for making my dreams a reality.
Well, thank you, Charlie and President Fulton. Wonderful, and we hope we're here to support you every step of the way. Charlie. So thank you again to all of our speakers. Prior to concluding the event, I just want to say the College of Nursing could not do this without the support of the president, the provost, our faculty, our staff, our students, our alumni. It takes a village to make a change for our nursing workforce. So this concludes today's event. For our media friends joining us this afternoon, if you would like to stick around, our media team can help you set up interviews with some of our presenters. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for your support of nursing in Oklahoma.